Hey, I'm Vieira. This video is probably more for beginning photographers. Or maybe even if you have been shooting for a while, you still haven't really been able to put your finger on what's your style? What kind of photographer are you? Uh, what are the genres that you're really drawn to? What are you passionate about? What do you want to be known for? If you are just starting out in photography, there's a good chance you're probably shooting a little bit of everything, right? Which is a great thing because it exposes you to a lot of different styles of photography, and you might find something that really resonates with you and something that you're really drawn to. So that's great, right? It also gives you a lot of experience in shooting in different kinds of styles, different lighting, different kinds of things that you need to pay attention to. Great education. And that's what happened to me. When I first started in photography, my main gigs were product photography. But the other areas I was trying to develop, if you would have gone to my website back then and clicked on the portfolio tab, man, you would have seen landscape, people photography, animals, kids, still life, boudoir, street photography, fashion, and editorial. I don't even think I knew what editorial meant back then, but it was such a hot buzzword that I felt, yeah, I need to have some of that in my portfolio, right? So if you would have clicked on my portfolio tab, you would have seen about 10 or 12 different categories and galleries for each one of those categories of the kind of styles that I shot. And I started looking at that and started thinking and hearing from other helpful people that I kind of needed to scale that back a bit, kind of focus more on, not quite, don't be all over the map, be more focused on the kind of things you want to shoot. I started working with models and agencies, helping the models put together portfolios so they could go out and get work. But I kind of quickly moved on to what I call intimate portraiture because I wanted something. I didn't just want your typical model poses, your typical kind of model shots that most people were getting for their portfolios. I wanted something a little bit deeper. I wanted more mood. I wanted more feel in the photographs. And not overly sexual, but definitely more sensual. And no matter what else was happening in the photographs, for me, it was always about the face because that's where your sensuality is. That's where your expression is, your connection. No matter what else is in the photograph, for me, it's always been about the face. I don't want a photograph to show everything. I want there to be that sense of mystery. I love vulnerability, and not in a form of weakness, but more in a sense of openness and just passion. These are the kinds of qualities that, for me, make the work much more engaging. The other genre of photography I'm really drawn to, it's not necessarily what I would call street photography, but more or less urban landscapes. Even with these shots, I still want that sense of mystery. I don't want to see everything in the photograph. I want that human sense of vulnerability, that overall look, that overall feel, especially shooting at night. I love that. And again, as with the intimate portraiture, what's really important to me is just the overall feel and the overall mood of the image. So what I just showed you here, it wasn't just about two styles, two genres I'm very passionate about, but more importantly, I was describing to you the elements, the common elements I want to see from shot to shot to shot, right? Creating this kind of constant thread that goes through all of my photography and pulls all of my work together. Having that awareness of what you want to get out of your photography, what you want to see in your photographs, boy, what a helpful tool that is for so many different ways. It gives you that framework, it gives you that structure to create from so that you're not just shooting everything and not really quite sure even what you want to get. It helps in different ways, like it creates this consistency to your work. It makes it easy to identify your work with you. Somebody might be going down their Instagram feed, see one of your shots, and even before they see your name, they've got a pretty good idea that that's probably yours, And even more importantly, yeah, it just gives you that framework, that structure that will really help move your photography forward help you create those stronger images that you really want to see from your own photography. So how do you define your style? How do you find what's the genre for you, or genres? Um, I would back away from photography and I would just think about life. What really excites you? Is it sports? Is it people? Is it, what is it that you're just really drawn to? I love passion. I love sensuality. I love dark, moody things. That's what really gets to me, and that's what I'm very passionate about. So think about, what is it in life that's very important to you, really excites you, really motivates you, because that's probably going to be your strongest subject. Um, what Now, as far as coming up with the elements that you want to see in each shot that creates that consistency in your work, this is where, I always talk about studying the masters, but it is important, because what that does is it gives you examples from people who created such strong, compelling work. And you can kind of see, what is it about their photography that really touches you? What reaches you? What's important about that photograph that made you stop on that page and spend more time there? That's the kind of stuff that you really want to incorporate into your own style, your own shooting. Create those common elements. Then what I want you to do is, I want you to write down that list of, when you come up with maybe two or three items, just make that short list to begin with of what are those items you want to see in each shot. It's going to give your photography that consistency. And then after each of those little items, write a little paragraph describing what it is about that item that you really love and that really compels you. To write it down, I would, if you want to type it or whatever, but I would really recommend writing it down. Take a pen or pencil and some paper, because nothing is going to, really solidify those concepts better than physically writing it with your hand on some paper, man. Remember that? Try it. Write them down. Be as descriptive and as detailed as you want to be, and then you can add to that list, or you can change that list, because people change, right? We all change. The things that really excite us might change and things like that. So that list is not, it's not like written in stone. You can change that, you can add to it, take away from it. But that list, not having the list in your pocket, but having that list written down, it's going to put it up here in your mind. It's going to give you that guidance in your photo shoots to get the kind of shots, to get those elements in those photos. And it's going to make your photography stronger. It's going to make it more of what you want to be creating. You're going to be creating the kind of photographs you want to be making. So it's important, and it really does help. Okay. Hey, I hope this video helps. I'm Ted Vieira, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.